Have you ever gotten frustrated while trying to meditate because you can't quiet your mind? Or maybe you've been really stressed out at work and your mind is just constantly going through your list of to-dos, just adding to your stress. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 tips that you can use to quickly quiet your mind. Hey, I'm Amanda from theintuitivewife.com, and I think it's fair to say that we have at some point all gotten frustrated because we haven't been able to quiet our mind, whether it's during meditation or throughout the day, or my personal favorite, when you're trying to fall asleep. It happens to the best of us, but the next time you notice it, you can use one of these 3 tips. Okay, so tip number 1 is to practice mindfulness. What this will do is bring you into the present moment so that you are less focused on your racing thoughts. This is fairly easy to do. It is literally observing your surroundings. How do your clothes feel on your body? How does your body feel sitting in this chair? Is it comfortable? Are you holding tension anywhere? What are the noises around you? Maybe you can tune into the air conditioning that's humming in the background, just as something to focus on that isn't crazy mind chatter. I would also recommend trying to incorporate deep belly breathing while you're doing this, but if there's other people around or maybe it's just not convenient, you don't have to do it in a very exaggerated way. It can literally be just as simple as focusing on your breathing and noticing, are you breathing from your chest? Is it shallow breathing? Or are you breathing from your stomach? Just very simple observations help slow down your mind and help it to refocus on what's going on right now in the present. By the way, I know I said this video had 3 tips, but there's actually a bonus tip, so make sure you stay right to the very end where I share with you a tip that I use on a regular basis as long as I have about 5 minutes or so. Okay, so tip number 2 is meditation. All you need to do for this meditation, which is really just a mini meditation, is to focus on your breathing. That's it. You don't need to change your breathing, you just need to focus on it. If you're feeling extra frazzled, what I like to do is take my hands and shake them 3 times, saying, not mine, not mine, not mine, just as a way to shake off any extra energy or other people's energy that may have attached itself to me. Since you're focusing on your breathing, you can try to slow down your breathing. The reason I say this is because even though our brain is very, very powerful, it follows the lead of our breathing. So if our breathing is very shallow and fast, our mind is going to be spiraling. If we are able to slow down our breathing, it will actually slow down your mind. They work hand in hand. Now, this mini meditation does not need to take a long time at all. And keep in mind, you will not be able to 100% turn off your brain. Your brain is a part of you. Just like you need your organs and your blood to stay alive, you also need your brain to be a functioning human being. It doesn't know how to turn off. But one thing you can train it to do is at least slow it down so that it is not so frazzled and focused on things that just aren't really a priority in this moment. So by focusing on your breathing and turning your focus inwards, it will immediately calm you and slow down your brain. Tip number 3 is to use a mantra. I learned this tip from a monk. So if we use the example of the popular mantra, aham prema, which means I am divine love. A tendency, if you're feeling anxious or stressed, is to say it really quickly. Aham prema, aham prema, aham prema. That could maybe work on some level. But what this monk suggests is to start at whatever speed you're comfortable with, but start to slow yourself down. So aham prema, aham prema, aham prema, aham prema, aham prema, and go as slow as you need to. And you'll notice that your mind is slowing down, it is focused only on the mantra, and you are now able to have a quiet and focused mind at the same time. Your brain is now becoming aware of the pauses in between the words, the syllables, and it is definitely honing in on these pauses and on the silence, but it's still staying focused because It knows that eventually you need to finish that mantra. So give it a try. By the way, don't forget to check out one of my previous videos that talks all about free apps that I use for self-care and quieting the mind. The reason I put this one at the end is because I feel it can be a little bit more time-consuming than some of the other techniques. So tip number 4 is tapping. Tapping, or EFT tapping, and by the way, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. The reason that this works is because we all have meridians and energy centers in our body. And what EFT tapping is it uses the fingertips to basically touch on or stimulate the energy points or meridians within your body. One thing I remember when I was in school, one of my teachers would say quite regularly, your issues are in your tissues. That's why some people can go for a massage or a chiropractic treatment and have emotional release, because our body stores memories, it stores traumas from this life and previous lives. The good news is that EFT tapping is super easy, but if you're sitting in, for example, a boardroom full of people, doing this might cause some curious looks your way, which is maybe not what you're trying to do. You might be trying to avoid the attention, but if you are alone or don't care about the curious looks that are coming your way, you can literally go onto YouTube and search for anything. Tapping for anxiety, tapping for confidence, tapping for money, or my personal favorite, Tapping for Miracles by Margaret Lynch. It's only a few minutes long, and within like a minute and a half, you are feeling like $1 million. Quieting the mind isn't always easy, but it's definitely possible. Please remember that you are a human being. Some days are going to be easier than others, so please be patient with yourself. If you notice that today is taking you 2 or 3 or 4 times longer than it did maybe yesterday or even last week. Self-care and mental health are topics that are very important to me, which is why I created a video recently on the free Android apps that I use on my phone to help me support my wellness. These apps range from self-care to mental health apps to meditation and quieting the mind. So be sure to click on the video that's on your screen right now to learn more about my top suggestions for free Android apps that support self-care and mental health. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you over there. Bye guys.